So today I figured I'd talk about the best and the worst things about living in Thailand. And starting on a more positive note, let's start with the good things. Starting with, so Thailand is renowned for its cuisine. I mean, you can get anything from pad thai to more western dishes like maybe a cheeseburger. You really can get everything here. So if you're a picky eater, well, it's not the end of the world for you because they quite literally have everything here. But I will say a quick pro tip: if you're speaking to a street vendor or you're getting your food from someone, double check if it's spicy or not. I made that mistake when I first got here, and let me tell you, I won't be making that mistake again. So instead of being on the end of a miserable look, in Thailand it's quite the opposite. People are actually friendly and happy, and I'm obviously speaking about in general here because there's always going to be some grumpy buggers about here and there everywhere in every country. But the Thais are definitely some of the friendliest people I've ever come across in my travels so far. So that's definitely a plus. Another one of the best things about living in Thailand is its stunning landscape, pristine beaches, towering mountains and all the green nature in between that. With natural wonders, national parks and nature reserves, Thailand really does have it all when it comes to nature. Whether you want to go hiking, wildlife spotting, whatever it might be you want to do, Thailand has the offer for it. I mean, when it comes to nature anyway. The chance to experience Thailand's rich biodiversity is really quite something, especially when you get here. And in the rainy season, I will say, it gets even greener and even more beautiful. So bear that in mind. And of course, the more obvious one, the affordable cost of living when compared to the West, and the quality of life you can get out here for the price you can get it. It really is just a no-brainer. I mean, that's the huge benefits of Southeast Asia in general, really, when compared to the West. Because instead of having to spend a small fortune to go out to a bar, have a few drinks and maybe get into one club, you could probably make that last a couple of weeks here, let's be honest. But that's just one example anyway. On to the next point. Well, another one is the weather. As you can see here, even in the middle of rainy season, you still can get some sunny days. And when comparing the weather to the UK anyway, at least, it's a hell of a lot better here. And as I said, even during rainy season, it'll still get the sun out here, whereas England, it seems to have rainy season 365 days of the year. So it's a bit different. And I think you tend to forget that in the UK, how important sunlight is. I mean, vitamin D, it's literally a vitamin, so it definitely adds on to the reasons why I left. But now moving on to the worst things about living in Thailand. Now, I know in the last section I said the weather is one of the best things, but depending on what type of person you are, it could be one of the worst things. I mean, the weather could be too hot or too humid. It really could just not be your cup of tea. I mean, if you're from the UK, then you really aren't built for this type of weather, so it's going to take a while to get used to. I mean, me personally, I'd rather be hot than cold every day of the week, but that's just me. And well, if you really can't handle the heat, then well, thank yourself lucky that AC was invented, and it seems to be in nearly every room here in Southeast Asia. And the thing about Thailand more recently, they're fed up of people just doing border runs and using their visa exemptions in order to live here, which is why with these new rules implemented, doing the border runs and getting away with it seems to be a thing of the past. But even that aside, getting the right visa can even be challenging itself. I mean, to be honest, if you're thinking of moving out here, just expect that some things are not going to go as easy as they should. The visa might not go well, you might have other issues with immigration. I mean, you may as well just factor that in because that's almost a guarantee out here. I mean, it's just a part of life here in Southeast Asia. And it might not be so simple and easy, but that's just part of the challenges of moving out here. So definitely keep that in mind if you're thinking about moving out here. Now, although English is widely spoken here in Thailand, in the more rural areas, it may become less common. It might be advantageous to start learning Thai, but at the end of the day, if you learn a few words here and there and try and communicate in their language, then at least try. I mean, it really goes a long way. I try and do that with every country I go to, because I'm sure you can imagine, if you're like me, learning a completely new language like Thai is going to be extremely challenging. So I just try my best. But at the end of the day, if you don't speak Thai, at one point or another, you're going to end up using your phone or Google Translate or even some weird version of English and Thai to communicate to the locals here. And for me, that happens most when I'm trying to tell them to leave the spice out the meal. I mean, I am a white British man at the end of the day, let's be honest. Thai culture is a vibrant blend of historical traditions, Buddhist principles and influences from neighbouring countries, which results in a unique blend of national identity. As well, Thailand values respect and family ties very highly, as one example. So if you're coming from the West, there is a chance for culture shock. It is definitely different out here and people value different things, so that's just something to keep in mind. I mean, with the example I used about respecting your elders, I think that's something the West can learn from, to be honest. That's the way it should be. Another one of the worst things about living in Thailand, which doesn't really affect me down here in Pattaya, more in Bangkok and Chiang Mai in the north especially, is the air quality, you know, the pollution that goes on. Because during the burning seasons, if you have any respiratory problems like asthma for example, you may struggle a bit here in this country during those times, or those months of the year anyway. Because I also believe the practice of burning fields to prepare them for the next season is actually illegal here, but at the end of the day we are in Southeast Asia, so the laws are not really rules or guidelines, they're whatever you want them to be, it seems. But luckily, if you want to stay in Thailand during those months, you can always go more south or to a different part of the country where the air pollution isn't quite so bad. And finally we get onto tourist scams, and there's always going to be tourist scams in every country, let's be honest. As with every popular tourist destination, scam artists will try to use their clever tactics to, well, scam foreigners essentially. So obviously when going to the large cities like your Bangkok, Chiang Mai, Pattaya and Phuket, keep your wits about you, because that's where the tourist scammers are going to locate around the most. And the scams themselves can vary. I mean, the obvious ones is the taxi scam, which you can avoid completely by using the Bolt or Grab app here, which is essentially their Uber. To other ones like the jet ski scam or temple scam, where they tell you it's closed and you should go with them for a ride. You know, there's a few of them, the list goes on. I mean, you've got to give them credit, they do get kind of creative, you know, with some of the ways that they try and scam these foreign tourists. But still be careful. Maybe it's best to, before you go to a city, to Google the more popular scams there to avoid. That might be helpful. But hey, that's it for the best and worst things about living in Thailand. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like, and I'll see you guys in the next one.